Alright, so I've started this project on school and all of the flaws involved in it and ways that it could potentially improve. I'm still in the process of writing it, however, I think that just to kind of get thinking about school, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments, and also we're going to be reacting to a school-related video. So here we go.
This has easily got to be one of the hardest videos I've ever made. Not just because people are just going to read the title and then get outraged at me, but it is kind of a racist observation to make that most mass shooters are white dudes. It's like Louis C.K. said, of course, it's racist to see what's in the media and then make blanket statements completely about a race, saying that all white boys are school shooters. Just like, of course, it's racist to find inner city crime statistics and then say that all black people steal. Of course. Of course. But maybe if you pretend like you don't see race, you're a fucking dork. How do you say dork and not sound dorky? You're a fucking dork. By the time I finish writing and editing this, there's a 37% chance that there's gonna be another mass shooting somewhere in America. We see it every week in the news, and we know shit's gonna change, so we all go, meh, what else is trending? Back in 2012, Sandy Hook happened maybe 20 minutes from my home. I came back from school and my mom told me that a bunch of first grade kids got shot in a classroom. I was like, wow. But what's for dinner? Chicken nuggets, sweetie pie. And then I ate the chicken nuggets and beat my 14-year-old meat. This was around the time when the white roast started changing. It used to be Nazi or slave owner, but then kids would see the white kid sitting alone at the lunch table and call him a school shooter.
Yeah, people still fucking do that. You know, the quiet kid, yeah, shit still goes around.
People were noticing a trend, and so was I. Now I'm not just fascinated, but I'm paranoid. Never would I ever have considered myself becoming a gun owner, and never would I think twice about going to a music festival, but the El Paso shooter drove 9 hours across state lines just to kill Hispanic people in a Walmart. Who knows, man? Yesterday, I spoke with Kyle Kashuv, a survivor of the infamous Parkland shooting that happened last year in Florida. If you don't remember, in the aftermath of the shooting, these high school kids decided to take matters into their own hands and start their own discussion about school safety because nothing was getting done. They were protesting and making a lot of noise, but Kyle caught the country's eye with his unique conservative viewpoint on the issue. Although you and I probably don't agree with a lot of what he says, he's been through hell and made it into something. And he's only 18. And now more than ever, I think it's crucial to have conversations with people who think differently.
Sure.
Yeah, but Sneako, you had to do that interview, right?
Yeah, man. You can't
Decline that interview, bro. You can't.
So on the phone, I'm on FaceTime with Kyle Kashuv. How do you say your last name? Kashuv? Kashuv?
Kashuv. Everyone gets it wrong.
I said it right the first time.
Kashuv. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was like, Sneako gonna like reveal his last name? Is he?
No, people don't even know my first name.
Yeah, good. Keep it that way, dude. Because like you don't want people searching through your old stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to get canceled or anything.
I mean,
Wink.
Yeah.
But no, we have the great, I don't know about the great, but we have the very intelligent Kyle Kashuv here. I've seen him on the news. I think you're very well spoken.
Thanks, man.
Very outspoken during the aftermath of the Parkland shooting. While most people were anti-gun and lobbying for gun control, Kyle gained notoriety on the right for speaking for school safety on a different level.
Yeah, I think that there's stuff like holding the government accountable, making sure the schools are actually doing the reporting that they should.
I do think
Guns in schools will help, but like I realize that like we have such a divisive split on this that it is better to focus on those solutions, and then we can have the gun debate to actually make sure kids are safe at school. But yo, did you have that? Did you have that entire intro scripted, or is that?
No, that was off the dome, right? That was pretty good. It sounded professional.
That was good.
It's my first interview too. And if you don't mind me asking, I don't want to ignite any PTSD, but can you explain a little bit, like, what you're comfortable with, what went down that day? Like, what was the school shooting, what was it like? Just for even my curiosity's sake. I've been kind of paranoid of something happening, not just in school, but at festivals, because these shootings, they transcend just schools. They've been at music festivals, garlic festivals, Walmarts, and ever since you see them more and more pop up in the news, I walk around and I'm a little bit paranoid. As someone who's experienced that, well, what can you tell us?
The teacher shoved us out in the classroom. I've never told this story before.
Quick side note, the thing about those the drills and whatnot, if there's ever an intruder, the issue with them is that if there's ever a kid that's been to school, right, grows up, absolutely hates school, maybe got bullied, whatever, and ends up, wouldn't they know the drill? I mean, come on, it's useless. Why are you teaching kids the same thing year on and year on from generation to generation? All the shooters gonna know the drill. They're just gonna go and kill everybody anyway. You can get mad from that, but it's the truth. I mean, it's pretty faulty. It makes no fucking sense.
But we're in the hallway, dude, right?
And then we're running outside.
So there was a fire alarm at like 2:30, and like we also had a fire alarm in the day before. So I didn't want to leave class. I was like, dude, just let me stay. I'll chill in the classroom. Just like let me be here. Like this isn't a big deal. I reach and try to grab the door handle,
And at the exact same time, my teacher,
like 3 other kids, takes the door and slams it shut, and it locks. So my teacher locked me out of my classroom, right? While there's a shooting going on. What I didn't know was actually that there was a shooting going on, because like there were outside speakers that should have played that didn't. So like we didn't know that it was a code.
if we had no idea what was
So what
going
did you think
on,
was happening when you heard those noises? What did you think was going on?
No clue. I genuinely thought that like 2 textbooks fell.
So what changed specifically at your school after everybody started protesting? What specific changes have been made?
Dude, so nothing, absolutely nothing has changed at Stoneman Douglas.
Do you see how much schools literally don't give a shit about you? They don't even change anything when that shit happens. Sure, they added some officers, security people in the schools, but that's not gonna do much. If some kid comes in with a fucking AK or an AR-15, pop pop, the fuck are you gonna do, fatty? Dude, the security guy at our school, everyone calls him, what the fuck did they call him? That's right, they call him Deputy Donut. You think he's gonna be able to stop shit? I mean, one time I saw him oh my god, there's this one time a kid spit on a teacher and he was cussing up and down, right? The security guy fucking grabs the kid, slams him against the wall. I was watching this happen. It was at lunch. So I would sit alone at like my locker, and then maybe like over and like up like 10-ish feet, there was all the tables, right? I heard something like, okay, so I heard people yelling. I look up over the lockers and I see the deputy, and I look. And I see a student there, and they were arguing. And then all of a sudden, the deputy just gets mad, fucking grabs him, slams him against the wall, and they started fighting. And I'm like, wow, that's something. I mean, Jesus Christ, how the fuck is... I mean, that dude's probably... He's big as fuck, but how are you gonna stop someone if you have a fucking automatic rifle?
But I'd like to get your take on what makes people school shooters. And not just school shooters, but mass shooters. There's more people submitting manifestos online. There's more people who seem vigilant in their reasonings for shooting. Why do you think people become shooters in the first place?
I think there are a bunch of different factors, but I think one of the biggest things that is glossed over is the role the media has to play with this. You know, every single time we see a shooting, we see massive coverage of the shooter's name and the shooter's face, right? They blast his name everywhere. They blast his face everywhere. Like these are
For fame?
losers who are mentally ill, and they're like, oh, I can do X, Y, and Z and be known forever. Oh,
Yeah.
and they treat it like the shooter at our school made a video and said, you're all gonna die. You're all gonna know my face and name. And then Time Magazine posted that video to YouTube.
Got a couple million hits.
With the shooter's face, with everything that this guy wanted, and it got like millions of views. And it's like you guys are making this problem even bigger.
See that's also the thing that I absolutely fucking hate about like the press is they dive into every fucking thing and then they explode everything out of proportion. They also dive into people's personal lives and personal problems, just fucking recording you. Especially like celebrities, you see people all the fucking time get so pissed. That's why celebrities always try to hide their face and shit so that no one sees them. Otherwise people are gonna come out and be like, I mean, wouldn't that be annoying as fuck? Like, goddamn, dude, give me some fucking space. But yeah, I mean, about this, it's so dumb because they're literally giving him popularity. I mean, why the fuck do you think so many people do this shit? Like he said, if there's like a loser, no one knows about him. He's like, well, I hate this place. I hate everyone in it. Maybe now people will actually know me. Maybe now people will care about me. Pop, 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 pop. You're literally giving into exactly what he wants. You're not helping the fucking problem. If this country actually cared about people, they'd be doing something else to stop it and not give into it and promote it. They're literally promoting school shootings. Kid you not.
And let me ask you a tougher question now, because I'm trying to get to the philosophy of this. Most of the school shooters, I don't know, like, we talked a little bit about this on the phone, but was the Parkland shooter, was he white?
Yeah.
So there's got to be a reason why, and I am generalizing, but most of these mass shooters, not just school shooters, are generally men, almost always men, and I would say 14 out of 15 times they're white. And I understand, I understand that there's a discrepancy in how many white people there are in America and how many minorities there are, but it's an unproportionate amount of white males. And yes, there is black on black crime in inner cities, and that contributes to a higher amount of the gun violence in this country. But when it comes to vigilant shooting, when it comes to mass shooting, school shootings, it's pretty much always white men.
See, Sneako's smart. He knows exactly what the fuck he's talking about. If you guys don't already watch him, go fucking watch him. He knows exactly what the fuck he's talking about. He's smart.
Most amount of mass shootings are black on black gang violence in our cities.
But specifically school shootings and mass shootings. Like, we know this. Like, I know there's going to be people who drop in crime statistics in the comments, but like this is something that's bothered me because I didn't want to speak on it for a while, but it seems like I'm not the only person who's noticed this, and there's got to be a reason.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you on that one. If that statistic is true, I don't know.
I don't know about then when this was, let's see, 2019. I don't know how much about 2019 when white people got shat on, but I know that a lot of people do now. Now, I mean, I'm not saying calling white people a separate group than I am. I mean, I'm partially white. I mean, I'm mixed. I'm Hispanic, so I'm, my dad's from Mexico and my mom's just from here in America. But either way, I've noticed so many times people will, even my own fucking sister, it's annoying as fuck. She shits on me just because I'm whiter than her. It's so fucking annoying. I hate it. People shit on white people because they're like, oh, they're so boring. There's nothing to you. You're just plain white.
I know it's like mostly males.
Is that even a question that we should bring up? Is that a sentiment that's worth discussing?
So why do you think? So let me bring it to you. Why do you think that like white people, if that's true, statistically true, are the people who are committing like the vast majority of mass shooting of school shootings?
It's tough, bro, because there's no way to talk about this without stereotyping, without being racist to some degree. But have you seen the movie Fight Club?
Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club.
Some of my favorite films and television shows of the last 2 decades all feature very similar themes. American History X, Breaking Bad, Fight Club. The anti-hero became extremely popular in Hollywood writers' rooms ever since the late 90s. Every single movie that year was about a bored middle-class white dude working an office job who somehow gets to live out his wildest fantasy. A couple years later, Tony Soprano strangled a man to death in season 1 of the most critically acclaimed series of all time, proving that audiences would still pay attention to a leading man who's evil. The anti-hero started popping up on every network. Don Draper in Mad Men, Dexter in Dexter, and my personal all-time favorite show with Walter White in Breaking Bad, which stuck out to me because the entire premise of the show is based on one singular event: his own mortality. Once again, he's a bored middle-class white dude who never fulfilled his potential, but when realizing his time is limited, he finally becomes the monster that was living within. This idea has always been fascinating to me. The fact that on surface level, white American lives can look comfortable and easy, but beneath the surface, people are losing their fucking minds. Maybe this is why they decide that shooting up a Walmart is an opportunity. Maybe this comfortable white American life is so manufactured and predictable, it's created a desire to act out. Maybe when you feel alone and worthless, and it's like the world doesn't even see you, the only way out is to show everyone that you're the anti-hero.
Mental health issues are skyrocketing. We're seeing suicide rates by both men and females, specifically in young generations, skyrocketing. And we're all too busy blaming guns because it's easier to do that than actually address the mental health, the government incompetence issues, the media issues that we should.
I'll leave it at that. I mean, I gotta say, you're very well spoken. We don't see eye to eye. We don't see eye to eye on everything. I mean, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Trump, as people know, but I think You do have a bright future ahead of you.
Dude, I think we need more people like you providing real, genuine content that isn't filtered, that is authentic and organic, dude. And I think we need more of that. Because like YouTube is now moving towards like the mainstream, generic kids' toy unboxing stuff that isn't actually intelligent, that is just pushed out, factory process made.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just glad to see a young man as yourself putting himself out there, sticking to his guns, even though people don't agree with you. Even though I don't agree with your politics, I'm glad to see that you're out here standing up for what you believe in. Like that, I commend more than anything.
Yeah, do you guys see how easy and simple and civil it is to just have a conversation with someone? Even if you have the complete opposite views and total opinions as somebody, it doesn't matter. You can still have a civil conversation and not just sit there and insult people, call them toxic, call them misogynistic, call them incel. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Okay? Actually sit and have a genuine conversation with someone for once. For one goddamn time. Have a conversation with somebody. It's not that hard. Look, you can see it right fucking here. Can you? Exactly. Alright, I'm gonna have to cut the video a little short here because my camera keeps fucking freezing. I don't know what its fucking issue is. I'll have to figure that out. But, closing thoughts on this is well said, Sneako. Well fucking said. Again, if you guys don't watch him, you really should. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He's obviously seen, talked about, researched, watched just a lot of fucking shit. So just go watch him. He's great. Also, pretty soon I'll be releasing that school video I've been talking about. I'm still working on the script for it, so be soon to check that out. See you guys the next time.
I might slide up to your block with intelligence. I'm a genius with the Glock, there's some relevance. Took his chain, took his rocks, took his sediments. There's no cap inside my speech, no impediments.